I recently made a video about the number one amateur mistake that I see people making with direct response marketing. Now I want to make a video about the number two amateur mistake that I see people making with direct response marketing. It is a very, very, very close second. So let me tell you if this sounds familiar. You set up an advertising campaign, right? You set up your funnel, you crank some ads to it, you spend some money, you send the traffic into the funnel. You've spent as much money as you need to get 100 leads, or as much as you think you'll need to get one conversion, right? Follow the 1% rule. If 1% of your traffic ultimately, makes the final step and converts and makes a sale, you've spent some money, you've tried to get there and nothing, right? You've got nothing, you've had no conversions. Well, what do most direct response marketers start doing at that point? Well, then they start editing the landing pages, right? They make a little change to the copy here, they change the color there. Or then they go to the ads and then they start tweaking the ads around a little bit. Or maybe they go to the audience and try to narrow it down a little bit, right? Or try a slightly different audience, right? None of that stuff moves the needle. They keep spending money, they keep trying these little tweaks, and ultimately that doesn't move the needle. What gives? Well, I'll tell you what gives, and that is the offer. Fundamentally, the audience does not want the offer. So that would be the number two mistake. And we're going to elaborate on this, but I would say that the number two mistake is having an offer that the audience does not want. So let me pull up my whiteboard here and let's fundamentally draw this out here. So when it comes to direct response marketing stuff, there is typically an ad. There is a landing page. I'm just going to put a page. And the page kind of goes with the offer, but we're going to call it a conversion. Right? And, well, those are really the only three things that we had. We need the audience. Forgot about the audience in there. The audience, it's a big part of it. So we'll move these over. I was planning on it selecting all. Let's move those over, move that one over individually, right? And then if we draw them all out, if we draw this out a little bit better here, the offer, so it shouldn't be that. We should just include the ad and the page in there. These advertise essentially your offer. All right, so nobody really reaches the conversion event, or the user does not see themselves reaching the conversion event. That's just in our direct response marketing world. That's our trigger to know that something happens. There's the audience, there's the ad, and then there's also a page, and then there's an offer that goes around with it. And you display your offer either in the ad or in the page, right? So what I'm saying here is when a lot of people spend money on their campaign and get nowhere, they start going in and tweaking things. They tweak the audience, then they tweak the ad, then maybe they tweak the page, but ultimately this gets nowhere. Fundamentally, there is a disconnect between the audience and the offer. There's a fundamental disconnect between the audience and the offer, and that is simply put that the audience does not want what you're offering. So the big mistake is people keep running offers, trying to make an offer sell that no one wants. Bottom line, right? So as a rule of thumb, if you go through this whole process and you've got something and you just can't get anybody to buy it, and you keep making tweaks to your audience, you keep making tweaks to your ad, you keep making tweaks to your page, they don't matter. And you're not getting anywhere. It is your offer that is the problem. So in that case, you need to go and look and reevaluate your offer. Does the audience want it? Can you repackage it in some way that maybe the audience does want? I've seen that happen. If you're selling marketing services, maybe your audience doesn't want your monthly package for SEO. They just want you to sell leads, right? Well, then you can repackage it. And your offer is essentially hey, we're going to get you leads. etc. So keep this stuff in mind if you're testing. As a general rule of thumb, I like to map out how much it will take me to get one conversion, right? So I reverse engineer the math. How much will it take me to get one conversion? I double that. If I run that and it does not get the conversion I want, then I start looking at the offer. And that's usually what the issue is, because you can make all the changes you want to these little things, but typically they're not going to move the needle at all. The offer is really what moves the needle, because if you've got an offer that people want, it's not hard to sell it. Let's just say, we'll take for an example, in my case, in the local home service business, if you're a local home service contractor and a hurricane comes through your area, and this, happened in my area, you can literally run a Facebook ad that says con artist contractors, as the page title, and then just say we fix houses, and you will get more conversions, more leads than you can even count. You'll get thousands of them for pennies, right? Because the audience really just wants that offer. They want their house fixed at that point. Okay, that's what really matters, is the offer. And I can't make this clear because I see so many people trying to run ads and setting up direct response marketing campaigns, and it doesn't work. And then they ultimately start making these little tweaks. When you've got an offer that the audience wants and it's packaged, your offer is packaged, this is part of your marketing, how you package the offer, then people buy it. And I'll tell you, in my experience, my biggest successes come from running a very broad audience to an offer, right? And all of this stuff matters very little. You can have a fancy landing pages. I've had fancy, elaborate landing pages with multi-step forms to a very simple black and white landing page with a form. And ultimately, they basically convert about the same. It really does not matter too much. Okay, so keep that in mind. I think I've already said it. I've harped on it quite a bit. If you're running direct response marketing campaigns, it is not getting the results you want. Stop fucking around with your audience ad and your page and look at your offer. Fundamentally, if your audience wants the offer, your ad and your page really don't matter that much. All right, guys, I'm Corey Phillip here. This is another video brought to you guys from me. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Like the video, that really helps me do better in the YouTube search engine. And if you want more marketing insights like this, look for a link to my Facebook group, the No Bullshit Marketing Facebook group. That's a wrap, guys. I'm signing off on this one.